All right, let's talk about something that's, well, it's incredibly painful and just so confusing. It's this cycle of shame and self-blame that can leave you feeling completely trapped, just wondering, how did I even get here? If that sounds familiar, you're exactly where you need to be. So let me ask you this. Have you ever been pushed so far past your breaking point that you just explode with an intensity that maybe even scares you, only to have that person turn right around and use it as proof that you're the problem? Or how about this one? Have you ever found yourself screaming, crying, just begging them to understand, and then afterward, when the dust settles, you're just left sitting there drowning in this thick, heavy wave of shame? And that shame, it starts to whisper this really awful thought in your head, doesn't it? Maybe they're right. Maybe I am the monster. If any of this is hitting home, then we really need to talk about the invisible prison you might be living in. Look, this isn't just about having a few bad fights. Not at all. For people with borderline personality disorder in relationships with narcissists, this is often a very carefully constructed trap. It's like an invisible prison where your own emotions are used as the very bars of your cell. It all starts with that constant simmering anxiety, You're trying to read every mood, every pause, every delayed text. You end up living on high alert, just walking on eggshells 24/7. And you're constantly asking yourself, am I being crazy? Am I too much? Am I just unlovable? It's exhausting. And then comes the gaslighting. These phrases, they're designed to make you doubt your own reality, to slowly chip away at your sanity. They push and they poke and they prod until you finally, inevitably just snap. And in that moment, that very moment of your explosion, the narcissist wins. But here's the thing you have to understand. That snap, that explosion, it is not random. It's not proof you're a bad person. It actually has a name. And just giving it a name is the very first step to disarming its power. It's called reactive abuse. And it's so important to get this. It is a defensive reaction, not an unprovoked attack. The abuser is a master at flipping the script. They use the very pain they caused as a weapon to control you and paint you as the villain. So why are people living with BPD particularly vulnerable to this devastating cycle? Well, it's not a coincidence. It's a calculated exploitation of very specific traits. Think of it like the narcissist's playbook. Step 1, they exploit the deep emotional sensitivity. Step 2, they use the profound fear of abandonment that often comes with BPD against you. Step 3, they leverage any identity struggles you have through gaslighting. And step 4, when you react, they trigger that deep wound of shame, making sure you stay trapped. And here's the absolute darkest part of this whole cycle. Society already has so much stigma around BPD. So when the survivor finally reacts, it tragically looks like it's confirming everyone's worst stereotypes. The abuser gets to play the victim, while the actual victim is left blamed and just utterly broken. To see how this works in the real world, let's talk about someone we'll call Anna. She grew up with this feeling that she was never quite enough, which sadly made her a prime target for this kind of manipulation. Her partner starts off by showering her with affection, the whole love bombing thing. But then, slowly, he starts to pull it away. And when she seeks reassurance, she's met with these soul-crushing words. Each one is like a small cut, designed to make her bleed out emotionally. So after weeks of being ignored, of being invalidated, the emotional pressure just builds and builds until it's unbearable. Finally, Anna explodes. From the outside, it looks chaotic and aggressive. And there it is. The trap snaps shut. He calmly points to her reaction as the perfect justification for his cruelty. Her pain is now his proof. Anna just collapses into guilt, believing him, and he gains complete control. That is reactive abuse in action. So, if you are living this, how in the world do you get out? How do you break a cycle that's designed to use your own mind against you? It starts with building an escape plan. Let's call it a toolkit for liberation. Okay, here's your toolkit. First, you have to name it. Just understanding the term reactive abuse takes the power away from the accuser. Next, and this is maybe the hardest but most critical step, pause. Even just 10 seconds can act like a shield, stopping the reaction they're trying to get. Then you zoom out. Journaling helps you see the pattern so you can stop blaming yourself. Learning to disengage protects your energy. And you don't have to do it alone. Therapy tools like DBT give you concrete skills, and building a support system of people who believe you, well, that's non-negotiable.
Breaking free is about so much more than just escaping. It's about reclaiming your narrative. It's about taking the story they wrote for you, the one where you're the villain, and completely rewriting it with the truth.
Let's just confront the stigma head on. The world might slap labels like toxic or monster on people with BPD, but the truth, the real truth, is that they are survivors. Survivors of an intensity of emotional pain that most people, thankfully, will never have to experience.
So let's establish a new truth, right here, right now. Your powerful emotions do not make you weak. Your incredible intensity does not make you unlovable. It makes you human. And your survival, your story, has the power to pull someone else out of the darkness. So I'm going to ask you again, but with everything we've just covered, have you ever been blamed for overreacting? This time, I want you to hear it differently. Hear it knowing that your reaction doesn't erase the abuse that caused it. Let this be the one thing you remember, the one thing that sticks. You are not the monster they painted you to be. You are the survivor.